or the opposite, I should say, then a claw and a back knuckle. From this point, we're going to step back to 6 o'clock with our right leg into a left neutral bow, but we're only going to be there for a brief moment as we pivot into a reverse closed kneel. Now what happens here is we're going to parry with our right hand and do a left diagonal horizontal heel palm. So they're both going to work together. You drop into your closed kneel, let the hands go down to the right knee, and we're going to make a figure 8. This is the position that our hands, that's the path that they're going to travel. So we're going to go to the top of the figure 8 on the left side, up to the top on the right, back down the bottom on the left, and what we're doing is we're heel palming and grabbing, left back knuckle, right claw, as we go down to a wide kneel at this point. Go down to a closed kneel, wide kneel, and then around to a closed kneel again. At this time, we're doing 2 punches, a left over right. All right, from this point, the hands are crossed, and you'll find out in this form that it's no more than zigzagging X's all throughout the kata. Not only with the hands, but with the feet. And remember, the feet dictate where the hands go. So we're going to zigzag an X. Right about here's an X here. See the cross? Then we come down, here's our X here. Now I cross behind, so I actually have a cross with my feet. Now from that position into a right closed kneel, I step back, I bring my X up, which is my arms, unwind, and do it on this side. Heel palm and grab, closed kneel, wide kneel with the back knuckle and heel palm, closed kneel with 2 punches. Now here's my zigzagging X. I bring it around and come around on this side, and as I come out of that position, I'm going to step into a right front twist stance, which is no more than an X. That's all it is. But it's going from one side to another, all the way through. So I pick it up here, come around and do a right extended outward block, cock my left hand to my hip, step out into a left neutral bow. And as I step out of it, I do a left inward block and cock my right hand to my hip. From this point, I go to a left forward bow, do a right inward elbow. The inward block now turns into what? Turns into a check. All right, I pivot back to a neutral, executing an elbow, a right outward hand sword, a left inward hand sword as I drop to what? A closed kneel. This hand now turns to a check, the left hand does, and I come back into a wide kneel and execute a right thrusting hand sword. All right, from this position now we're going to go to the opposite side. We're going to take our left leg and begin that zigzagging X as we cross over. And as I do, I take my bottom hand, my left hand, bring it around. And as I bring it around, it does no more than do what? An extended outward block as the right hand is cocked to the hip. From here, I step out into a right neutral bow and execute a right inward block, cocking my left hand at my hip. The blocking hand turns into a check. Go to a forward bow, inward elbow again. Neutral bow, a little bit of an elbow and claw with the top hand. Chop as I start my closed kneel. This is an outward hand sword, right inward hand sword, wide kneel, and then it circles. Both hands come back into play again as you go down to the wide kneel. Now, from here, I take my left leg, step over to a horse, and I'm on a line between 12 and 6 o'clock. And as I do it, I wipe my hands clean right into a cocking position or a chambered position. I do a left inward parry as I circle both hands in, and what? A right horizontal middle knuckle. And they both pass each other right at the center. This hand parries, this hand crosses. We come out with a right outward hand sword horizontally, parallel to the ground. I step into a right neutral bow and execute a right inward sandwiching elbow. Now, it's important to understand that that elbow is a collapsing elbow. It doesn't cock and then hit, but rather it just stays where it is and it collapses into itself. Now, from that point, you take your left leg, cross all the way around to 9 o'clock, unwind, facing the opposite direction. And now the hands do the same thing, except now it's a left middle knuckle and a right inward parry, chop, and come through with that collapsing elbow. From here, with the hands in this position, we step to 10 o'clock with our left leg. And as I step, I cradle. This is called a cradling motion. Now, that means that I could have somebody locked into this position and I could be dragging them with me. There's a lot of options in there. but we're going to cradle it right at the waist, bring it up over our head into a left forward bow. At this point, we pivot out to a left neutral bow as we make a little roof over our heads with 2 claws. Don't extend them too far, but they just keep them within that outer rim that we've learned out in the other tapes. As I bring those claws down, I go to a forward bow again, claw and grab with the right hand, and this hand checks at the bend of the elbow. From here I shuffle forward, execute a right pulling claw hand and a left back knuckle. Now, as I pivot, though, I pivot into a neutral stance. All right? I take now both hands. The left hand continues flowing as the right hand crosses over the top, and I do a crossover with my left foot. I step out, cradle it again, and do the same thing on the opposite side. All right, now